I am live. Oh, whoops. This- okay, first time I've gone live in a little bit, so I'm still figuring this out. Um, but today, what I plan to do is, um, okay, what I plan to do is I'm building up my character for my short stories. Right here, I have my sketchbook for it. It's where I write down my ideas for the character and story ideas, um, and breakdown. And how I started it was I wrote down a bunch of fun fantasy titles that I think sound awesome. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to. But then when I started writing, I forgot that I didn't know I didn't nail down his powers and abilities and all that. So I said, hell, I'm going to why not try that on stream since I haven't done that, and I want to do more like world building stuff on here. So I thought, why not start with an actual character? You know what I mean? So that's what I'm doing. um, so first off, I want to nail down his. Well, I'm gonna just probably start writing right here. I have image of what I think he's gonna like look like. It has his history in his world building, or like in his costume, just to really show you what it is. But as I was drawing him, I remembered that I have a different character who kind of has the same vibe that I don't think I'll ever use that story, and I like that guy's design more. I already took some of his design from there, so I was like, why not actually just try? Um, Try that design with this character, I think it will look good. So that's what I'm doing now, or that's what I'm about to do. So let me start writing and forgive my let's get some tabs up. Forgive my handwriting. It's gonna be bad, and also forgive my spelling. That's also gonna be bad. So I'm just sorry, all in all. So, this character lives in my world, the Set Empire, um, and I wonder if I switch, will that? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, I'm gonna bring up the map right now, um, because why not? So this is the Set Empire, and this is all the Set Empire, and the guy that we're designing today resides somewhere here. And he hasn't lived there forever. That's just where his grandma comes from because he originally came from somewhere over here. So at some point he had to cross all there. And his dad came from here, which is the main kingdom, and fled at some point. So it's not really spoilers because my character is more of like a Conan style, where it's like episodic. So we'll kind of figure out rumblings, but if I give stuff away, it's not a big deal. So now I have to, in my design, make sure that I include include history from here and then here, especially here because that's where his home base is now, and his mom is from somewhere over here. So all of that needs to be included. So I'm keeping that in mind. I'm going to delete it because I know, but I'm keeping that in mind. I'm just going to put this side over here. So now let's do our design prompt. His nickname is Walker. The series is Walker the Wandering Wizard because he's a wandering wizard and he walks everywhere. That's not his real name. Few people know his real name, but it gives away his character. So he doesn't say it often, like his lineage, because they all start with Oh, hello. I see someone said hi on Twitch. I don't know when that was. I don't know if you're still here, but I appreciate it. Hello. um so yeah, so first off, let's do our design stuff. Um he has an ice motif. Oh, jeez. Uh he's all about the ice. He has dark magic vibe about him. He is kind of like what, a vagabond? Is that what it's called? He he just kind of. I said this was his home base earlier, but he doesn't necessarily have a home base. So so how about he doesn't really have a home base. So uh I do not have no how to spell vagabond. Which if you see in my sketch here, that he's got the long hair, he's got the kind of chill attitude, he's got a sword and a staff because he's trained in the art of war, but also, um, first and foremost, he's a wizard, right? So, ice, dark magic, vagabond. He has a thirst for knowledge and magic specifically, right? Let's exclamation mark that. And then let's start magic, vagabond, thirst for knowledge. Um, but I want him to be mostly chill and good natured. He's not a hothead. Even though he has had some dark time in his past, he's chill about it. I'm thinking kind of like a surfer dude type deal. That's his vibe, right? He kind of flows and follows adventure, but doesn't get into any trouble. He doesn't want to. And he kind of contrasts my other character, um, Sethos. So, who is just like a big jacked Chad, pretty much. At least that's how he starts off. So I want him to kind of be the opposite of that. And then that way you're getting two versions of the set empire and two different people how they navigate the set empire. So strong but lanky, and then maybe like a swimmer's build type deal, right? Um, and then let's go wizard, uh, sword fighting, but hates it. And I think that's enough to start. Let's throw this, boop, right here. And then let's start doing image um, idea generation. So, one, two, three. Um, I should probably start with like a mannequin or whatever to begin with, and then test it up. I feel like that's probably the best and easiest way to do that. So, if you guys are watching, that it doesn't go super slow. So let's create a chill dude, I guess. I guess yeah, let's just create the regular body. We could do the expression later if we want. So, um, let me change it to blue for now. Just because I always like my roughs in blue, and then my sketches in red, and then my final drawings in black. I don't know why. That's just how I do it. If it's digital. If it's not digital, usually I just kind of go in with pencil, and then if I'm inking it, I'm inking it. If not, eh, you know. So, all right, yeah, let's build this thing. So I'm just doing a quick mannequin. I'm gonna have it more or less how I want him to be, but like this is just a sketch. Um, and I love comics, right? Even though I'm doing this for a short story. You see, my username is the Comic God, so I've been drawn from comics forever, and I've always been here for that classic strong build. So no matter how weak some of my characters are, they have muscle tone. I'm uh, I'm like early Iraqi with it. The guy who did JoJo's, for anyone that doesn't know, because everyone's a jacked monster for no reason. To begin with, now everyone in his comics are skinny. Even though he went back and made the first guy, was it Jonathan or Jonathan Joseph? Yeah, Jonathan skinny, and I was like, yeah, that's the one that should be jacked. If nobody else is, fine. You make Josuke not jacked. I don't love it, but it is what it is. But Jonathan should always be a freaking monster. That's part of his character, I think. Just making this quick because I can go all day with detail if I want to, but we're trying to come up with a design here. So I don't want to do that. And I didn't even notice the blue lends itself better to the ice that we're going for, right? So that is good. With digital, I always draw too big, but good thing that I could just back it up. Um, I do that with normal too, though. If you look at my sketchbooks, like this guy was not supposed to be full page. He's full page. Even a foot hanging off. Was not intended. I was gonna behind him. I was gonna make a bunch of like cold wind burst up. Didn't do it. But it is what it is. That's why it's a sketch. Something to learn from. Um. All right. Let's just do that quickly. So he is primarily because if you look at the map again, it's going to be in hot places. 'Cause this is a desert, and this is all like swampy forest lands, and this is a forest, and that's a desert again. So it's more or less warm all throughout the Set Kingdom or Set Empire, and then right here is not, but that's like there's a magical reason for that, and this isn't, but that's just because it's far north. So he should be but weather stuff, but also, oh yeah, I didn't put what he. I'm gonna put his uh race split. I guess it would be. I'm gonna put that because of how his genes work. Temperature doesn't really affect him, so he could technically wear whatever he wants. Jeez, drawing on the wrong layer has been an annoyance for digital artists since the dawn of digital art, I'm sure. All right, there. You see how I became more and more frustrated with it as time went on. But this is so simple at the bottom, it starts to get but anyways, that doesn't matter. All right, and let's put 3 or 4. What are we thinking? All right, so let's do a split before we do anything. So, all right, that's him as a pie. Walker, the wizard. So right, so she's full witch. That's half witch. His dad is half spirit. His great grandfather, no, his grand, duh, duh, duh. Okay, his dad is half spirit, which means his grandma is full spirit, and then his great grandma, no, his grandma's full spirit, which means his grandpa is half human and half god, which makes him half a witch, which is essentially a human who does magic, right? Um, and then a quarter spirit, and then an eighth god, and an eighth human. Something about this universe, I kind of want to give spirits pointy ears, but I also feel like that's somehow, I'm not gonna say racist, but I don't know if that's racist. Let's cut that and then paste. Just put it on a new thing. Um, and yeah, and the spirit, his grandma's an ice spirit, so that is why he's an ice mage, a dark witch, hence the dark magic. And then the the whole demigod stuff that comes from the Set Kingdom because the emperor is the demigod. That's how that works. So affect that in some way, right? Because it would be the Set Empire as a whole, right? Which is super important because they're looking. Uh, so while we're doing, I'm gonna send this back. While we're doing that, let's copy this out. One, two, three. And then let's put these beside each other. Ba-ba. Ooh, perfect. All right. So let's just name them real quick. So we don't, uh-oh, I don't know. All right. One, two, three, four. Perfect. So, um, now let's go with red so we can clearly see the details, like the costuming, particularly. And I don't know if I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to focus on like facial features and stuff, because I'm thinking like the long hair and the kind of like half scraggly beard, but also this same character I used to have in a I used to draw with a mohawk and like a nicely manicured beard that kind of looked like how the pharaohs have that thing going on. I used to have it like that. So maybe I'll draw a few different things and we can see what looks best. But right now, I'm thinking just watching, thinking about story and what would be most relevant for this character. What would he still have on him, even though he's more or less a wanderer at the stage where we meet him, at least in the first few short stories that I'm gonna do. So, like in the current one I have, I'm pretty much just gonna do that design first. It's a base mark on what I know he is. So from this is a scarf, and then it's hot, so he's got a open shirt. Even though temperature doesn't affect him, but he's fit, so he's probably just using it as an excuse. That's what I would do if I had a freaking 8 pack. Be like, oh, I mean, it's so warm in here. And then belt. don't know why I always make belts so big. Really, I feel like it should probably be. Should I make it a smaller belt with like utility stuff on it, so scrolls and shit? I think that'd be kind of cool. This is more of a chilled out design. Let's do that in the next one, I think. And then maybe, oh, you know what? Let's put a belt around that belt, and let's put a big scroll like Naruto has at the back. Maybe not quite as big as the one Naruto carries around in like that pain fight. Have you guys ever seen Naruto? Um, there's a scroll with all of him in it, and like little scroll. Um, and part of the reason I originally even gave him this like kind of sleeveless jacket thing because the main character has the opposite. Literally, he oh hey, how's it going? Um I'm doing design for my short story character. I tried to I tried to write it and then I was like, ah, I don't know how he looks, so I thought I'd do a live stream. Um so my other character literally has his through into a hood, like through the middle of his body, and then into a hood. And so I was like doing reverse of what his jacket is. Since he's the reverse in so many ways, the other character doesn't really use magic. This character does, and blah blah blah. But now I'm not uh, figure out where that is later. Oh, because he knows how to fight with a sword. He's like current. All right. I love the that like Aladdin pants. I'm a fan of Dragon Ball Z, and most characters have baggy pants like Dragon Ball Z does. Now, and then at some point, I just took that and ran with it, and now a lot of my characters just have the Aladdin pants. I don't know when that came up for me, but I just kept on drawing them baggier and baggier, and one day, oh, it does. Hmm, interesting. Uh, it shouldn't be, but I don't know. This is the first live stream I did. If the audio is choppy, I'm sorry. Let me check if it's using what it should be using. Hmm. It says it is. That's weird. Hopefully, it's not for everybody. That'd be a little bit of a bummer, but hey, sometimes we just gotta let it rock. uh, the program I'm using is supposed to be good for stuff like that. So, I'm not sure. Is it still choppy? Let me know if it's still choppy. I'm just gonna stop and just vamp. And if it's still choppy, let me know and let me see if I can do something about that. Um, I'm gonna give him flip flops because I think it's funny. A bit, yeah. Oof. All right, I'll figure it out. Just gonna finish drawing these flip flops and that. I'll do it. It might be me. Fair enough. But thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. It's always nice to see you. All right. I feel like these brawling arm wraps. I feel like it should be like a scroll, a spell or something that just looks like arm wraps. Looks like he's a brawler, but that's not really the case. I don't know. Right. So, but that's more or less the first one. Okay, hold on. I do like hanging from the scroll is a big book, and then let's put a little knife above the scroll. Oh, fair enough. Um, yeah, especially during the holidays, and off for a bit too. When creating so for coming back. It's much appreciated. And then a headband. So why not? All right, so that's yeah. Let me take a look into the audio for just a second. Live stream. Interesting. Well, hopefully it's not too bad. And next time I'll see if I could fix it. Right now, I'll just try to pump out these designs and see if I could get it finished. Um, so right now, that I'm right now I'm doing my comic. I've got I'm working on the sixth page for like the revamp of my comic. Um, and I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna do some short stories, and they all take place in in this world. Empire. Uh, so for now, I stopped because it didn't really work. I felt like the story was super hollow. Didn't have many themes. So I was like, let me go back to short stories. If I'm gonna write a full story, I'll do it in the set Empire because I have a few good ideas for that. And um and yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm throwing everything in the set Empire. I'm gonna build something cool. Uh, I really like this character. Uh, kind of like the other character I was building before. He's a wizard, and he basically his goal is to wander around and get spells to fill up this. I haven't done my elevator pitch for this yet. So basically, he has a power that he can take um, creatures and monsters and whatever's natural abilities and turn them into spells. So he has to fill up the spell book. So I have a bunch of short stories where it's him going off on adventures and then filling up this spell book. And it's just kind of a way to get around and build up stories in the set empire. And then my comic is based in the set empire and it's based on a prince of the set empire who just kind of goes on these adventures and they're more pointed to the royal side of things where this guy is more pointed to like the general side of things. Thank you, I appreciate that. I will. um Kind of a little bit. It's just I didn't want to make it too overpowered. If he meets like a time being and figures out the spell, I kind of want it like a almost one and done. This is like a special book that he doesn't touch that often. Because most of his powers come from uh him being like the mix of so many different races in the universe. So like, where is yeah, there we go. Let's make this a different color. So this little chart shows he this is not really a good place to put it. Shows he's half witch. His mom was a witch, and they're like a little different from humans, but not really. And then he's a quarter spirit, which there's a bunch of spirits in this world, and they're their own kind of like they're all put in one kind of area. But yeah, the spirits are almost like elves, but not really. And then he is uh a quarter, I guess, demigod. And then so his powers come from the fact that he is a little bit of all the regions. But so with the witch he can do like um a certain amount of, I guess, death magic where he's able to like, I guess, talk to spirits or make himself do XYZ. That's part of the thing I gotta go down is what the heck is his dark magic. And then his ice magic is from his spirit side because his grandma's like the queen of the ice spirits. And then um the the demigod side kind of just makes him like tough, like almost like a super soldier level, because he doesn't get the actual powers. He just gets a little one up from that, which because I thought he'd be a little too powerful if you start putting all that in there too. So and then the there's knowledge, Thoth. the god of knowledge, gave him the power to be able to see natural things and turn them into spells. And then he kind of there's a mythology reason why Thoth would even come to him. But yeah, it's a it's a whole thing that takes too long to explain. I gotta get that elevator pitch down. But yeah, that part of his power is the Omnitrix. I comment makes a lot of sense. It is kind of like that, right? I know. So this is the realm of uh, Egyptian where basically uh, and his like his son, his demigod son, they win, and then the the realm kind of gets shaped in like a chaos, warped, weird way where there's kind of monsters everywhere, and but the god is still around, but like not really. So he's one of the only people that is in contact with another god other than Set, who's like the main god in this area. But yeah, Thoth was cool. Always thought Thoth was cool. God of magic, god of knowledge, and just know it. I'm giving him like a temporarily affects everyone else in that world. And I don't know what to do with this. I feel like I should lean more into the wizard aspect than the ice aspect. Since literally his title, the one wizard. But who's to say what a wizard looks like, I guess, right? Everything from Gandalf to Harry Potter is in fact a wizard. So it's like magic. That's kind of what you gotta do. Oh no. I gotta charge my computer. Alright, well, uh, the stream just ends. My computer died. If that happens, whoops, my bad. If not, well, I'd rather it not. You like the vibe you should go for. I like the more regular than the kind of grand. Set Empire. No, I'm not gonna do that. That doesn't even make sense with what his character is. Thinking about giving him Set Empire armor around him, but that doesn't make too much sense because he went from there, even though his camp is from there. And I think this takes away a lot of his chill, like chill vibe. When he's more in like an outfit like this, it's more cool. Like cool, I run stuff, big man on campus type deal, rather than "Oh, I'm just hanging out." Which is kind of what I was saying before about my other character. I was doing had ice powers and kind of had the same vibe. He was literally a king, so he would have from like this ancient house in that particular universe. So he would have this oh on shit type vibe where he this character Walker would not have that vibe. Yeah, it's not bad. I don't think it goes with any of the or not with any with some of the vibe I'm going for. Hmm. All right, let's try three. We know that one was kind of unsuccessful. Um, maybe I do more like he has more stuff on him. Because if he is this guy that's collecting any and everything knowledge, especially when it comes to magic, maybe he should have more scrolls and like wands and different things on him. Not wands. Maybe a staff. Oh, he does have a staff. I still don't know where that comes from. Oh yeah, it comes from a necklace. In each one, he should have a little crystal. Oh, it's not in the same one, but he should have a little like crystal, and he grabs the crystal, and uh, necklace pops out. Not a necklace. A magic staff pops out of it. That's just the magic that's set up by his grandma, Queen Ice Spirit, who I'm tempted to name Elsa, but I'm not going to. I might. I don't think that breaks copyright law, does it? If she looks different, I have a. Oh, that sketchbook isn't near me. I have like 5,000 sketchbooks, and only one of them has like. I have so many characters of in the Set Empire and different important people, and I put them in one sketchbook. But sometimes I'll just take that sketchbook and be like, okay, who can I make up in this empire? And and that's so much fun with it. Like I'm thinking about after like in arc 3 of my book about doing a tournament art just for the kids of the emperor, and there's one who I just set up as a fighting person, even though they're all in combat because that's just kind of how they live. Um, she's just like a brawler, and it's the Punch Punch Princess is her title, and that's just so fun to me. I don't know, I like that. So, um, which sounds like it should be a thing. I don't know if that's a thing anywhere else, but it's so simple that I'd be surprised if nobody else made a had a title like that in fiction. It's got to be right. Okay, let's do maybe he has like a giant scroll there because it should be like he's camping, and then maybe another one a little thicker there, and then he has, let's say, a book over here. This is too much as a design. Maybe it's not because it's not a comic book character. I'm not gonna do it as a comic. It's just a short story. So if I if I just do it as a short story, then I just got to draw the guy on the cover. So I can make him on books, and then maybe another little scroll there. Let's do a few little scrolls. And then I still like the baggy pants idea. Ooh, should he wear a onesie? One thing about me, honestly, huge fan of onesies. Hella comfortable. What's better than a onesie? I don't know. So, yeah, maybe let's do like that, right? So, I'm dedicated to the sleeveless thing. I might give him a sleeve of magic. I think that'd be cool. Maybe that's later in his life. Right now, in his journey, but like semi. He's only been doing this for a few years. Maybe I don't have him tattooed yet. At least not fully. Oh, I also have to fit a symbol. That's gonna be his back. We don't gotta fit a symbol. We'll do it once we get his design. We'll figure that out later. Hmm. Not a fan of the V-neck. Personally, if it's a V-neck, it's gotta be a deep V. In my designs, what are we doing? All right, so there, turtleneck, and then maybe let's have this clasped together. We could have a little symbol going on, symbol of the set, Empire, and then necklace. It's too big for a necklace, right? Should be shorter, but I don't want it over the. I think longer is better. and he has to grab it, right? I think that makes sense. I don't know. But here, just try it. I'm here for scrolls today, apparently. We're figuring it out. The last one's probably gonna be a mix of all of them. But honestly, I'm thinking, because this guy over here is really busy, but in a simple way. This one, I don't know. I don't like the vibe. But this guy, I don't know. He's got a vibe. I'm not mad at it. But he also looks like with the necklace, he's still has a uh, a deep V going on. Which I don't love. Hmm. I'm thinking maybe get a ring that turns into a staff. No, huh? Because that's just like the God of War thing. But just because they did it doesn't mean I can't. I don't know. Let's leave the necklace design out for now, and then we can figure that out later. Because it's just got to be a crystal that's on his person, right? So I'm not mad at these three scrolls. Right? It gives the big, medium, large uh, vibe. So that, and then go look at the fox. I know casual doesn't mean, and he is casual doesn't mean that I have to do it. Give him boots or no shoes. No. Oh, maybe I think right. And like I said before, it's a whole scroll. So if he was just one he needs on his person, I don't know if it gives him magic power or I don't know what it does yet, but it could be just a cool little nod. Why is his or not nod? I just wouldn't nod to anything. Why is his arm bandaged up? Oh, it's a magic thing for sticky situation. People took he got arrested. People didn't take this. They teleports back to home. And then, hold on, let me just. All right. Ooh, my battery is dead. I kind of want to. Hold on. Let me try something. Did it stop? Am I still alive? I think I'm still alive. Yeah, it looks like. Yep, it's still recording. All right, I'm still alive. I switched my mic, and maybe that fixed the mic problem. Who knows? I switched my mic, And because I needed the port for a charging port, I gotta just buy multiple ports. This is crazy. I didn't even think about that being a problem. I had almost a full battery. So I thought that'd be good for an hour or two. Right? Barely reached an hour. Anyways, audio is trash now. Didn't speak up a little bit. This is not on me anymore. But oh, I give him like a. I still think I'm gonna have just like a crazy big eyebrow, but like uh, size, the freaking that could be part of it. No, I'm not gonna end up doing that. Let's see. Oh, love. um, and then maybe because he gets into a fight. I feel like any magician would have spells kind of all over them, but not in this world because it's not really cool to do magic that's not set manga. So it's like maybe not. Maybe I do this. I'm thinking maybe I do this. Add the scarf over here. We can add the yeah. Even though this is again, I wanted to say okay. I wanted to say I wanted to say I wanted to say chill die. So I'll look for reference. Right? Like but I feel like it would be somebody. Let's look it up quick. Chill guy. I'm looking up on Google Images. Let's see what I. Oh, it's a chill guy meme. Uh, dude, is that a meme? Dude, yeah. Uh, calm man. I swear if it's the same meme, I'm gonna lose it. Okay, no, it's just a bunch of people meditating. Huh. Well, I didn't foresee that. All right, maybe. All right, let me try. I'm not gonna try to fuse anything yet. I'm gonna try something completely different. Still chill and vibey. Let's make it hella different and see what he's getting poncho. Who doesn't love a poncho? What's the thing and the thing? Who's really chat survivor? Or did I